for this. YouTube is live.
Okay, YouTube is live right now.
Hi friends, we'll start the webinar in just a moment. Welcome to today's exclusive webinar, Market Outlook and Index Strategy, hosted by our research analyst Karan. Whether you are an experienced trader or just getting started, understanding the broader market trends and how to navigate them is crucial to staying ahead. In this session, Karan will share his insights on the current market landscape, provide an in-depth analysis of key indices, and outline strategic approaches to building a resilient trading strategy. Karan, over to you.
Thank you so much for that. It's a new week, and there are a few interesting happenings that have taken place. अभी in the previous week, अगर आपको याद होगा, तो there was a lot of buzz about the US presidential elections and all those things. So चीजें जो थी काफी volatile थी. As and when we were getting updates of what is happening in the US markets, reactions आ रहे थे. Asian markets में उसका effect आ रहा था. ग्लोबल कमोडिटीज पर उसका इफेक्ट आ रहा था. बट अभी जो है थोड़ी क्लैरिटी मिली है विद रिगार्ड्स टू द यूएस प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन. वी हैव अ न्यू यूएस प्रेसिडेंट, दैट इज डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प. एंड अभी जो है चीजें उस हिसाब से पैन आउट होगी. करेक्ट. सो लास्ट वीक अगर आपको याद होगा तो एक और मेजर कंसर्न था, दैट वाज द एफआईआई आउटफ्लोज. सो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स जो थे वो कंसिस्टेंटली पैसे निकाल रहे थे फ्रॉम द इंडियन मार्केट्स. एंड इसके रहते अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो जो यूएसडी आईएनआर है, दैट आल्सो टेस्टेड फ्रेश लोज. सो एज अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट फ्राइडे का अगर आप देखोगे 8439 8440 के आसपास था, इन द बॉल पार्क ऑफ 8440 जोन के आसपास था. मेजर रीजन बीइंग, एक तो आपका जो डॉलर इंडेक्स है, मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ. ओके, डॉलर इंडेक्स है वो इन जनरल आपका स्ट्रेंथन हुआ है. Now, if you see somewhere around the end of September, start of October, it was trading somewhere around 100, and उसके बाद से अगर आप देखो consistent up move रहा है all the way to about 105.50 106 के आसपास. So ये one of the reasons था. And then also US bond deals अगर आप देखोगे, now I know that we are here to talk about Indian equity markets, but I just want to give you a backdrop of what is happening across the world. So bond yields अगर आप देखोगे तो पिछले 4 दिनों में वो bond yields अगर आप देखोगे somewhere since mid of September, it has been consistently forming a higher high. And recent जो उसका high था, that was around 4.48. Conveniently we'll round it off to 4.5. Not an ideal thing to do, but just for the sake of this webinar, we'll say that it went all the way from 3.6 to 4.5. करेक्ट. सो क्वाइट अप मूव रहा है बॉन्ड यील्ड्स में. सो डॉलर इंडेक्स टू एज आई जस्ट शोड यू हैज बीन रैली एंड some of these factors coupled with the continuous outflow that we've seen from the foreign money that has been affecting the USD INR. निफ्टी की अगर हम लोग बात करें एक डेफिनेटली काफी बढ़िया सी एक सेलिंग रही है एंड देयर वर अ फ्यू थिंग्स दैट वी शोड यू इन द प्रीवियस वेबिनार अगर लास्ट मंडे का आपको याद हो तो. सो EMA अगर मैं प्लॉट करूं दैट इज ओके. I'm sorry. I was under the influence that I'm sharing the screen. I mean, I thought that I was sharing the screen. Okay, can everybody confirm that you guys are able to see my screen and that I'm audible?
Yes, Karan, your screen is visible.
Lovely. So, and agar मैं अभी I'll just quickly run you through what I was just talking about. So, अभी एक थोड़ी clarity है. डॉलर इंडेक्स का मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ. DXY. So, ही मैंने yields दिखाए थे. NY, yeah, bond yields फिर आप देखोगे since mid September there has been quite an up move. अभी one might say कि we are discussing about the Nifty, but I just wanted to give you a backdrop as to what has happened globally, as to why things are moving the way they are. And in our previous webinar we had showed you this. Sorry, the 200-day अगर हम लोग plot करेंगे. Okay, I'll just remove this. Yeah, 200-day अगर आप प्लॉट करोगे तो there was a support cluster somewhere around 23,800, 23,600. Now bear in mind कि ये levels जो है as price changes they'll keep on changing, but nonetheless एक ballpark आपको मिल जाएगा कि कहाँ पर एक probable support है. So as per what we had discussed, so 24,000 being a round figure was a bit important, and अगर उसके नीचे जैसे ही market जाएगा तो major support zone would have been somewhere around 23,600, 23,800 because 200-day EMA वहां पर था. And if you guys remember हम लोगों ने इचिमोकू भी आपको दिखाया था. That was on the weekly time frame. उसका जो baseline है वो around somewhere in between 24,000, 24,800, 23,800 के पास आ रहा था. So all in all एक support cluster kind of thing form हो रहा था somewhere in between 24,000 and 23,800. Now मैं ये levels बार-बार repeat कर रहा हूँ because just to emphasize on the kind of significance that these numbers hold. 24,000 मुझे बताने की जरूरत नहीं है because it is a round figure and एक psychology बन जाती है. Say 24,000, 25,000, 24,400, 25,500 because whenever we have spoken about this in our earlier webinars also. But what I'm trying to tell you is कि जब भी price psychological level के पास आएगा, we might see a major reaction. Major या एक reaction तो definitely होगा. वो level जो है अगर 24,000 के ऊपर हम लोग trade करें तो जैसे 24,000 पे आएगा, we might see a mild bounce back. Yeah, if that level is broken, so 24,000 going ahead will become a key resistance. So अभी market क्या बता रहा है? जब मैं market बोलूँ, I'm discussing the Nifty here. So I'll just tell you अभी what according to the charts the Nifty is showing right now. I mean, what is the Nifty showing based on the charts? Just give me a second. Yeah. If you see since the 24th of October, okay, this has been the broad range. Broad range. When I talk about broad range, मतलब यही लेवल्स के बीच में निफ्टी ट्रेड कर रहा था. सो 24,500 on the upside and 23,800 on the downside. 778 है, we'll round it off to 800 just for the convenience. Correct. And आज भी अगर आप देखोगे, so it is moving higher towards the resistance level. Now अभी we have not I mean the day is still going on and things could pan out. News अगर आ सकता है कहीं से या whatever it is, but broadly this has been the consolidation and ये जो है आपको एक 75 minute chart पर आपको better दिखाई देगा. Now लोग पूछेंगे कि why 75 minutes against 1 hour? So market trades from 9:15 to 3:30 and वो time period को अगर आप properly divide करोगे, it gives you proper 5 candles. So that is why 75 minutes, unlike 1 hour जहाँ पे the last candle is basically 15 या 30 minutes का data. So यहाँ पर it gives you a better picture when you're using a 75 minute chart. And if you see on your intraday charts, 24,083, 24,000 के आसपास जो है, there is a bit of support at least for from an intraday point of view. बड़े पिक्चर की अगर मैं बात करूं, as long as Nifty is trading between 24,500 on the upside, 23,800 on the downside, we can expect this consolidation to continue. Why? Because कोई बड़ा ट्रिगर नहीं होगा, कोई बड़ा टेक्निकल लेवल्स टूटा नहीं होगा for when as long as it is trading between this range. ट्रेडर्स का अटेंशन कब कैच करेगा निफ्टी? जब इट गोज आइदर अबाउट 24,500, so then the traders will start looking for resistances, or people who have been waiting to go long, correct, will probably enter at that level. And bearish side में on the downside, which at the moment it seems a bit far-fetched, that is 23,800. Now at the moment मैं बोल रहा हूँ because things can change. Global scenarios जो है कल के दिन में भी change हो सकते हैं, एक 15 days में भी change हो सकते हैं, but we have to go by levels. Daily again, this level the 200-day EMA is actually getting closer to the support zone of the rectangle pattern. Then let us look at where we are today. Now अभी मैंने आपको 75-minute chart दिखा दिया. I'll just show you a 15-minute. I'll just show it to you on the 1-day chart only. कि आज का backdrop क्या रहा है. So if you look at the US markets, S&P 500, we were getting. The index was getting closer to the 6,000 mark. Quite a positive day. Nasdaq अगर आप देखोगे, quite a positive day. Now the backdrop behind this is that the new administration, it's going to the policies are going to be very positive for the US economy. So उसके रहते जितने भी US indices हैं, they are actually moving higher. Now coming on to Asia, so Asia in the morning was a bit mixed bag. या ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि dicey. There was a bit of a negative gap. And अगर आप निकाय देखोगे, Hang Seng देखोगे, कॉस्पी भी अगर आप देखोगे, कॉस्पी is still trading a bit negative, but निकाय हुआ, Hang Seng हुआ, even the Chinese markets. Now Chinese markets का एक separate story है as to why it fell on Friday, but I'll come to that. But Asian markets this morning were a bit negative, and then वहाँ से recovery आई. So उसी के रहते, if you look at Nifty, okay, so compared to, I'll delete this rectangle. I hope everybody has these levels in mind: 24,500 on the upside, 23,800 on the downside. We'll see how the Nifty opened. अभी मैं previous close के साथ आज का अगर मैं open compare करूँगा, it was a bit negative, 60 points तकरीबन negative open हुआ था. Correct. And in the initial few minutes, we saw the index test the intraday lows of about 24,004.60. अगर ये लेवल आपके दिमाग में है 24,000, now that is because it's a big figure. Big figure जब मैं बोलूँ 24,000, 25,000, 26,000, ये सब जो जहाँ पर बड़े figures change होते हैं, मतलब आपके thousands के figure change होते हैं, those become very crucial. So आज का अगर आप लो देखोगे 24,004.60. So वहाँ से मार्केट ने एक काफी बाउंस बैक लिया. Now again the negative open was after the index was following the cues from the Asian markets, and अभी भी अगर आप देखोगे Asian markets are trading positive. So कहीं ना कहीं the Nifty is trying to replicate the moves in the Asian markets. Now as of now we have completely engulfed the previous session range. अगर आप देखोगे previous candle, it was a bit indecisive candle. मतलब ऊपर जाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे तो sellers मार रहे थे, नीचे जाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे sellers were not able to make out कि कौन जो है वो position take over करेगा. And then we had today's candle. आज का दिन जो है थोड़ा negative note पर open हुआ, 24,000 से bounce हुआ, and around 11:45 it was trading somewhere around 24,330, which is basically 300 points from the session low. Correct. So it's certainly a big deal. मतलब कहीं ना कहीं there is a bit of buying coming in. But if you look at the price action right now, from the index is slightly giving up a little bit of its gains, probably because of profit booking. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is, at least till the last date, there has been a huge amount of foreign outflows. And अगर monthly point of view से देखोगे, probably biggest in the past few months. Not this month, the previous month and this month put together. अगर आप देखोगे, we have seen one of the biggest flows. Now, one of the reason was everybody was very bullish on the Chinese stimulus, but apparently Friday को जब उसके details आए तो not everybody was quite satisfied with the kind of stimulus they were giving to revive the economy. So That is why we saw a bit of negative move in the Chinese markets as well. Abhi, I have explained to you what the potential resistances are with regards to Nifty. I'll just quickly move over to Bank Nifty. So if you have been following our research reports, banks के जो result seasons है, they are actually coming to an end few sessions में. So to understand what is fundamentally happening in the banks, just go through that report. आपको एक थोड़ा insight मिल जाएगा as to what is happening in the banking sector as well. अगर मैं चार्ट की बात करूं तो अनलाइक निफ्टी इसमें थोड़ा चॉपी मूव्स रहा है. भले इसमें भी कंसोलिडेशन है बट द मूव्स हैव बीन चॉपी. इफ यू सी निफ्टी वाज फ्लैट डाउन एंड देन थोड़ा रिकवर लेके फिर नीचे जा रहा था एंड देन इट वाज कंसोलिडेटिंग. बट हियर यू सी अ बेसिक अपवर्ड ड्रिफ्ट. अपवर्ड ड्रिफ्ट में इसको क्यों बोल रहा हूं? इफ यू जस्ट प्लॉट ऑल द लोज लिविंग दिस आउटलायर असाइड and if you if you plot the resistances again, okay, so एक kind of एक upward sloping channel जैसे आपको दिखाई दे रहा है. Now this again we have to keep an eye on whether the banking index is going higher and breaking above the 52,500 handle, or is it breaking below the lower support of 51,000 के आसपास का जो level है. Because technically अगर आप देखोगे this has been a down move and a bit of an upward drift. Now of course ये drift का जो है length काफी बड़ा हो गया है when you compare it to this fall. So theoretically इसे हम लोग एक bearish flag ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते, but nonetheless the pattern is very similar to that. So अगर आप इसके साथ if you just look at what the RSI has been doing, correct, so it has managed to remain above the 50 mark, which is a bit positive for the banking index. And आज के दिन भी अगर आप देखोगे निफ्टी से ज्यादा बैंक निफ्टी seems to be a bit on the stronger side, because I'll just show you both the charts side by side. ठीक है. Yeah, this is exactly what I've been telling you. See, consistent down moves is what we've seen in the Nifty, but Bank Nifty, on the other hand, has been showing bit of resilience. It has not been, falling, but just because it has not been falling, it has been having choppy sessions. Choppy sessions, में क्यों बोलूँगा? It was trying to go up, and once it broke above the resistance level, but then again down. नीचे का support तोड़ने की कोशिश की, then again वहाँ से खींच गया. Again, it is basically moving in between these parallel lines. Choppy moves is what we are seeing in the banking index. अभी अगर मैं आज के दिन के लिए सेक्टर्स की बात करूं, now this is an internal software that we have access to, so I'll quickly run you through what the sectors are doing at this point. So आज का जो अपमूव था इंडेक्स में, जैसे मैंने आपको दिखाया था 24,006 से जो बाउंस आया था वहां से इंडेक्स ऊपर गया. So there are two major contributors. So one of them is Nifty IT, another one is Nifty Financial Services. And अगर आप बाद में देखोगे तो लेंडर्स पैक जितने भी है, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज हुए, बैंक्स हुए, प्राइवेट बैंक्स हुए, PSU बैंक्स हुए, वो आज जो है काफी पॉजिटिव है. Now this is a list of the 12 NSE sectors that we think are a bit crucial when it comes to moving the market. That is why we have a list of these 12 sectors. But अगर आप broadly देखोगे for the day, the up move जो आया है index में, that could be basically because of the strong up move in IT. Now IT again is directly related to the rupee depreciation. So जब भी मैंने आपको explain किया था कि the USD INR is trading, the rupee is trading at its record low against the dollar around 84.40 के आसपास, somewhere around that ballpark. So IT is one of the beneficiaries of the rupee depreciation against the dollar. Positive है financial services जो है वो थोड़े positive side पर है. Lenders in general are positive. Banks हुए, private banks हुए, PSU banks हुए, the entire lenders pack seems to be a bit on the positive side today. Stock specific अगर हम लोग देखें for the Nifty 50, just give me a second. Yeah. So breadth अगर आप मार्केट का in general देखोगे, so there are 27 advances, declines, and something like Power Grid, Tata Motors, that seems to be the leaders today. अगर आप Power Grid देखोगे 4.05%, 4.1% up. Tata Motors जो है तकरीबन 2% positive में है, and then we have the ITs जैसे Wipro हुआ, Techem हुआ, they are moving higher. Infi is also on the positive side. So broadly, these are the stocks that are probably supporting the index for the day. नेगेटिव साइड में अगर आप देखोगे, यू हैव समथिंग लाइक एशियन पेंट्स दैट इज डाउन 7.9%. सिप्ला जो है थोड़ा नेगेटिव ट्रेड कर रहा है, ब्रिटानिया थोड़ा नेगेटिव ट्रेड कर रहा है. सो दीज आर द स्टॉक्स दैट आर प्रोबेबली ड्रैगिंग द इंडेक्स टुडे. एंड अगर मैं इंडिविजुअल कंपोनेंट्स की बात करूं, देन to check what the individual components are doing, we'll need to go to the NSE website, go to view all indices, and click on one of the indices. Then just वो ड्रॉप डाउन पे अगर आप क्लिक करोगे, गो टू सेक्टर इंडेक्सेस. अगर निफ्टी इंडेक्स की अगर मैं बात करूं, सो we'll get to know who are what are the stocks that are actually pulling the Nifty IT back up. So yeah, TechM, Wipro, Infi, HCL Tech, they are the ones that are leading when it comes to the IT stocks. Emphasis, LTTS, ये भी है, they're still leading. So one interesting thing is, of the 10 stocks, all of them are positive. So that is why you saw an up move in the IT stocks. Now coming on to the Nifty option chain, what is it telling us? So सबसे पहले तो जब भी आप ऑप्शन चेन देखो, यू शुड हैव एनालिसिस रेडी कि आपको चार्ट पर क्या दिख रहा है. नाउ ये बात हम लोगों ने आपको पहले भी बोली है कि ऑल योर एनालिसिस शुड बी लाइक अ बैलेंस्ड डाइट. यू शुड हैव अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ दिस, लिटिल बिट ऑफ दैट. बट अगेन अगर आप सब कुछ ही उसमें इंक्लूड करोगे तो देन यू विल लीड टू एनालिसिस पैरालिसिस. सो वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट इज वेरी क्रूशियल अबाउट indicators, be it technical or whatever. टेक्निकल इंडिकेटर्स की मैं बात कर सकता हूँ, फंडामेंटल्स आई एम नॉट श्योर, बट टेक्निकल्स की जगह जब भी हम लोग बात करें तो देयर आर मेनी इंडिकेटर्स अवेलेबल. मेनी मतलब मेनी इंडिकेटर्स, यू नेम इट, यू विल हैव इट इन योर चार्टिंग सॉफ्टवेयर. बट आपको बहुत एक्टिवली पता होना चाहिए कि टाइम टेस्टेड कौन सा है. सो देयर इज अ रीजन एज टू व्हाई पीपल यूज RSI, पीपल यूज स्टोकेस्टिक्स, बिकॉज इट हैज स्टूड द टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. उसने टोयोटा इन योर गैराज, करेक्ट. सो दैट इज द रीजन पीपल, जब भी इंडिकेटर्स की बात करो, सबसे पहले सबके ध्यान में समथिंग लाइक स्टोकेस्टिक, समथिंग लाइक RSI, समथिंग लाइक MACD comes up, because they have stood the time and they have stood the test of time repeatedly. Multiple cycles उन्होंने देखे. तो people are a bit more comfortable knowing as to how those particular indicators are performing, because उन्होंने historically वो देखे हैं कि how they have acted in a particular phase. जब भी मार्केट ऊपर जा रहा है तभी कैसे किया है, जब भी नीचे जा रहा है तभी कैसे किया है. That is when probably people looking at indicators came up with the idea of range shift. जब ये range shift होता है तो क्या होता है, 50 and 80 के बीच में consolidate करेगा तो क्या होता है. So that is why you have to use indicators that have stood the test of time. And after doing all those things, you come to what the option interest or the OI data is telling you. OI data important क्यों है? Because it gives you a general consensus of what the market is thinking. आप जब भी particular strikes में OI accumulation या OI addition subtraction देखोगे, आपको एक basic idea लग जाएगा as to what is happening. And interestingly, so have the Nifty option chain for 14th November expiry, that stands at the 24,500 call. Okay, now keep that in mind. हम लोगों ने देखा है कि वो लेवल कहाँ पर है, मतलब 24,500. And if you remember, when we were looking at the charts, that level of 24,500 that also showed up. जब मैंने rectangle आपको दिखाया था, बोला था कि this could be the consolidation zone, 24,500 on the upside and 23,800, 23,700 on the top. So 24,500 वो figure जो है वहाँ पर pop up हुआ था. And then I could probably look at what the OI range is doing. Now, I don't prefer looking at something that is very close to the ATM, because people will be more interested. Speculators जो है वो वहाँ पर interested होते हैं कि slightly close to the ATM अगर हम लोग ले, and if the market moves in the in our desired direction, ATMs के जो option Greeks है, they will react. Close to the money, या ATMs के आसपास जो भी ऑप्शन ग्रीक्स है, they'll react much faster to the price movement. अभी ये क्यों है, उसके लिए do stay tuned with us. We have webinars coming up, and we also have explained Greeks in our previous webinars. So वो भी आप जाकर रिव्यू कर सकते हो, and आपको एक अंदाजा मिल जाएगा कि as to how the options react whenever there is an underlying change, whenever there is a change in the underlying asset class. वो होने के बाद we'll just move on to puts and we'll see where the OI accumulation is and I see 2,14,000 at 24,000. Now 24,000 आज के दिन का भी low था, so intraday traders who would want to be going long, though it is 200 points away from where we are right now, but 24,000 will be a key level for them because if that is broken down, वो session का low तोड़ रहा है, जो sentiment है पूरा it completely changes course because everybody was expecting. I'll explain to you the psychology behind that level. ठीक है, so जब भी ये कैंडल बना, they saw this wick and the index going higher, तो the assumption was big figure के पास जैसे ही market आया, there is some buying and that buying is pushing the prices higher. But if that buying momentum stalls or if profit booking creeps in and the market goes below 24,000, जो सुबह का जो sentiment था of seems to be holding, वो immediately negate हो जाएगा. Correct. So that is why you have to look at OI data. So OI data ने हम लोग को यहाँ पर बोल दिया कि first accumulation is at 24,000 and I'll just scroll through 23,800 again. So consolidation की जब भी हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, we also looked at support zones of 23,800 on the downside and उस बीच जो 23,900 है वहाँ पर भी थोड़ा accumulation है. So broadly, the OI data seems to be confirming what the charts are telling. 24,500 on the upside, 23,800 on the downside. Broader range here rahega. And unless and until we see a decisive break of either of these levels, we can expect the index broadly to consolidate in this range. Now, at this point, I would like to pause for a few minutes and ask you guys if you guys have any query. If whatever I've been explaining till now has been clear. अगर नहीं है तो please put it in the chat box कि क्या लगता है आपको, क्या and I would also like to know what your view is on the index for the week. Now, those who are connected to us via WebEx, put it in the chat box. And जो लोग YouTube पर हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, वो लोग आपके live chats में जो है वो डाल सकते हो. So I'll pause for 60 seconds, see what your reactions are, and then accordingly go ahead. Because अगर आपको कुछ query नहीं है, कुछ doubt नहीं है, then I would like to end the session here. But अगर आपको कुछ query है, if you have some sort of analysis, and जब भी आप analysis डालो, what I would suggest is also put in your rationale behind that analysis. Because I would really like to know what you people are looking at when we are talking about the markets in general. जब भी हम लोग सपोर्ट रेजिस्टेंस की बातें करते हैं तो मुझे ये भी जानना है कि आप लोग भी क्या देखते हो मार्केट में या चार्ट पर या व्हाटएवर योर टूल्स आर tools for analyzing the market जो भी है. I just want to know the rationale behind what you are looking at or why. अगर आप वो लेवल बोल रहे हो then why that is.
So I think, Karan, you have beautifully explained about what the market outlook and what can be the strategy. In fact, we can see that Bank Nifty is up by almost 450 points and Nifty 50 around this 80 points. So, Karan, if you can just mention about the RSI levels looking ahead for the Nifty 50 for this particular week.
Yeah. So, Rohit, that's an interesting question because and we had also pointed this out in our previous webinar that there is a range shift in RSI. I'll just maximize this chart. Yeah. So RSI, this is a default period RSI. Okay, I'll just show you. Yeah, this is a default period RSI, 14 period RSI है. And इसमें अगर आप देखोगे from the 16th of August all the way to 3rd October, it was consolidating between oscillating between 50 and 80. Correct. After 3rd October, there was a change. ठीक है, जो oscillation range था RSI का, that became 30 and 50. Now, basically ये बोलता है कि momentum जो है, it's a bit on the downside. Yeah, it is losing momentum. But जब भी RSI, I mean, अगर आप simple chart पर अगर आप previously देखो 50 and 80 के बीच में जब भी रहा है, there is a good momentum build up and obviously whenever the trend is positive and then there is momentum, correct, so the market actually moves faster. But whenever there is a lack of momentum, matlab slight there is indecisiveness and all those things. But all in all, RSI below 50 is considered to be a bit negative as in momentum built up utna nahi hai, is what the RSI would suggest. Now यहीं पर अगर आप बैंक निफ्टी में देखोगे, just a minute. So it has been hovering around 50. So going by the simple rules of RSI and all those things, हो सकता है कि बैंक निफ्टी शायद निफ्टी को आउट परफॉर्म करे. नाउ दिस इज अ बिट फार फेच्ड, आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, बट एक आपको ध्यान में रखना, एंड दिस इज नॉट अ रिकमेंडेशन इन एनी वे, ये बात आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. जो भी हम लोग लेवल्स वगैरह डिस्कस करें, इट इज फॉर एजुकेशनल पर्पसेस, एंड वी वुड स्ट्रांगली recommend you to do your own research before entering into a position. And we also have research analysts who are continuously looking at the charts to give out trading ideas. So at the moment, just going by what the RSI is telling, just going by what the price action is telling, Bank Nifty seems to be a bit on the stronger foot than Nifty at this point. So Rohit, this is what the RSI is telling us with when it comes to Nifty and Bank Nifty both.
Yeah, correct. So right now it is into the this range bound. I would say like in the range bound or sideways trend right now.
Absolutely.
So I think so I would like to thank you, Karan, and all our participants for attending today's session and taking out the time to attend this session. And if you, so those who are attending the session from our from our WebEx channel specifically, and those who want to see the recordings of this session, they can visit to our YouTube channel, and you can just type Access Direct there, and Access Securities Limited, our channel name, and you can explore the recordings of this today's session. So with this, I'd like to thank you, Karan, for this interesting session. And do remember that tomorrow we have the session on the commodities market, which is starting at 3:30 p.m. So those who are again attending from my YouTube channel, so do like and subscribe the channel so that you can get the notification for the tomorrow's session. So thank you so much. And
Yeah,
thank you, Vikram, for your
one more
feedback.
thing I would like to add. One more thing that I would like to add is before attending the commodities webinar, एक बार आप हमारे पिछले webinar को जरा go through कर लीजिए, because we had explained a few concepts about what soft commodities, hard commodities are. We are pretty sure that people know it, but we are safer side जब भी हम लोग ये jargons use करें, just to make sure that you're not lost in it. Please go through the webinar once before we start, understanding what gold is, what are the factors affecting gold. So that is what is scheduled for tomorrow. But just एक बार आप go through कर लीजिए हमारे previous webinars को, commodity का जो है क्या उसको.
There's a one question from a WebEx participant, that is from the Bikram said, that is like, please include how to trade into the commodities market. Yes, so what we are doing, Bikram, that is we are taking the concept right now on the commodities market, that how you need to trade into the commodities market. So once this concept will going to be get cleared, then accordingly, yes, as per the compliance, we have to check for the internal approvals, and then we can take this ahead actually. So tomorrow's session is scheduled at 2:30 p.m. That is on the commodities market. 3:30, sorry, 3:30 p.m. on the commodities market. I'll share you the link on the chat box so that you can register yourself. Just a minute.
So जो question था ना Rohit about teaching how to trade commodities market. So see, you can look at it this way. जो भी जिन्होंने भी ये सवाल पूछा है, so we are trying to teach you how to drive a car. करेक्ट. सो उसमें हम लोग सीधा अभी स्टार्ट विद फर्स्ट गियर में आप चलाओ, सेकंड गियर में आप चलाओ, सीधा फिफ्थ में हम लोग नहीं चलाना सिखा सकते आपको, राइट. सो थोड़ा पेशेंट रहिए. वी विल आल्सो बी टच बेसिंग ऑन दोस थिंग्स एज टू how to analyze the charts, what are the factors that you need to look at when you are trading commodities market. And अगर आपको पिछली बार याद होगा, if you have been trading commodities last time when Donald Trump was in when Donald Trump was the president, commodities में volatility बहुत ज्यादा थी. So we don't want to get you guys trapped in all those situations. So we want you to understand, how a particular data is going to affect the commodity. या ये broad trend अगर ये है तो ये क्यों है, किसके वजह से? What are the factors because of which a particular commodity is moving in that direction? So we just want you guys to understand all the concepts and then get into trading. So what do you do?
Correctly mentioned, means Karan, that is, we have to get the insight of the commodities market, that how the commodities market works, because see, the market is not going to close tomorrow. You have to understand
Yeah.
you have to understand its functionality, and then accordingly we suggest that okay, then you go and trade and take the informed decisions into the market. So I have already shared the link in the chat box. Also, you can follow our LinkedIn and social media page to get the more insight, because again, for the community, as Karan mentioned, that there is a session one, we have already done it on the community, so this is already live in our social media channel also, so you can go and watch the post from there. Do like and subscribe and comment us, and do follow us for this. So thank you,
Yeah.
Karan, and thank you all participants for this engagement. I will see you tomorrow on the community session at 3:30 p.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining, guys.